Well, hello. Been doing a little painting here. Got the orangish yellow stripe going on the nacelles, and then we got the deflector dish going here. I'm using a bronze in there because it kind of has an orange. I don't overly like the overly orange color that makes it canon. This one I really can do whatever I want because it's not the Enterprise. It's just a Galaxy class Starship. But I mean, I do have really good pictures, but I'm not overly crazy about. Here it's a little more gold on the actual filming miniature, so I think people are going a little too orange, and that's more of just a flat copper color. But I kind of like this bronze. It has like a gold orange kind of to it, enough for me. And then I like the photo etch just the way it is, so I'm going to keep it like that. And I might even do the same thing. I could probably mix a little orange in with the bronze on the other ones and the actual Enterprise to get them more in that orangey color. And I could probably paint the photo etch piece, the copper, and I might do that. Do the coppery one on one of them. But it looks good. I like it, and it's glowing really good, just like I want. This bronze actually gives the glow around this actual dish. So, and it's not even that bright because I still have the mask. I just stuck that on there with some tape. I still have the mask back there because I want to clean up, get ready to take it out off here in a little bit. Really happy with the yellow stripes on the nacelles. It's more of a yellowish orange they call for. So I actually had, this is a real cheap acrylic that I got. It's already got an orange yellow. I'm like, well, they're calling for an orangish yellow. But one thing that trying to break through this gray took a while. So what I did first to get some yellow behind there is used my Tamiya yellow. I gotta get in, this lid's cracked. Anyway, I did that first and then went back over and to give it its color. Just to do that yellow, the Tamiya yellow was actually, covering the gray a lot better. And then I went back over here with this a couple coats. But yeah, I'm very happy with that. So I think what I'm going to do now is start tackling these phaser arrays. I think I'm going to start on the top. Start on the top. We can start getting these doors in. We can probably even start getting the impulse engines in. And then we'll start hitting the copper around here. Okay, things are coming along. Here's our dish. This is just taped in there, but I did get rid of the mask from behind, and it's glowing just the way I wanted it to. Reflecting off of here, all the blue there. It'll probably be better on this once I have the tape out of there and it's just clear part to clear part. Getting the phasers painted. What else did we do? Got these guys painted and started getting my shuttle doors painted. What I'm thinking about doing, which we can do, is get this impulse engine in, the main impulse, from the star drive here. And I think what I'm going to do is use solar res to glue it together. And I wonder if I should scratch and frost this one side. I might do that once I get the photo etch glued down. Where are you? There you are. Sometimes it's easy just to take this off for the bigger sheets. Get out of the way. I don't want to lose that spring. Then it gives me this space. How many? Oh, there's 3. There we go. Get rid of those burrs. I mean, this stuff is made for, or should I say, used for tackle, making lures for fishing. So they use it to glue that stuff. I think I got a little too much. So they use it for that stuff, so it should work for this and not be overbearingly in the way. Got plenty of time to do anything with it because it's not going to set up until I hit that with that UV light. I think we're pretty good. Flip it over because the photo etch is probably blocking some of the UV light. And that should have tacked it. It's still moving. Did I do something wrong? I've seen people use it to glue things before. I might have to go a little longer. 30 seconds. It says do 1 second to tack. Best is flash for 1 second and then wait 15 seconds and then it is let's flash up 30 seconds. No. So we'll just do a tiny little dab of this. Like, is there anything else I need to glue? Because if I had those shuttle bay doors, I could have glued them in at the same time. Now we can get just a dab out of here. And this does dry really clear. Try to thin you out. It's not going to need much. Sometimes the less you have, don't have so much squirting out of the grills here. That'll work. Like I said, this gives you enough time to get everything nice and square. Just set it aside. And I'm not going to paint those grills. Same things with the ones for the impulse on the where are they? Yeah, same thing with these that we'll put in the impulse ones on the saucers. We got to get these light blocked, and then we'll, because I want to go with that whole, the warp drive has, everything's kind of metal, brass, coppery kind of color. Same thing with our dish, so we'll kind of keep that theme going. So that's something I can do tonight too, is get these guys. I got 2 pair here. I got to figure out what's a match. If there's any difference, which I think there would be. Never was a big fan of how these design. That one, oh, there, that one goes on good. Now, why aren't you? Unless it's the wrong one. Or it needs a lot of cleanup. Yeah, that one fits, so we're going to call it these two. Well, the copper is looking good. I am very happy with all that. Light's coming in through fine, so I just got to go in where I look at any of these ridges and touch up some stuff. Just in a few spots where I might have hit some copper. And it just needs some touch-ups anyway. Oh, and we got the impulse engine in. I glued the photo etch on with a clear epoxy and then sanded the heck out of it, and then used the Tamiya surface primer, which is a gray that's real thick, and dabbed it all around on the corners and pushed it in. I'm actually using that to hold it, and it went and filled any of the gaps that were around the corners. So hopefully, I don't. The only problem I'm really worried about is the top, but the way those light bulbs go down, I'm hoping that it keeps it away from that. But yeah, I'm going to keep it the old brass look to kind of go with all the other metallics in the engine areas and in the front. And we'll do the same with the other impulse engine. Now you could do it a gray. It's really the filming miniature. You really just see a reddish clear part right back there. But I'm liking doing it this way, and especially on this one because we have liberties to do what we want with this ship since it's a custom one. Oh, what else did I do? I got the windows in the holes right here and here. I'll keep continuing, but I just need to do that so we can get this shuttle bay in because it covers. I have a pencil mark. I don't know if you can see, but it covers all those windows there, and it comes in. You can kind of see a pencil mark, and then comes across here, and it of course covers all this. So, and then like I said, we'll use some tube styrene for that point, that point, that point, that point. That way, it doesn't want to do this or like that. Because otherwise, you only have a glue point here and this lip here where the deck comes out to that far. And then we got to figure out how to get that roof to hit like this at an angle so you don't see up in here when you're like this. But the windows came out good. Like I did it from this side. I did a test one there. And that way I have some clear globbies up top. But, I'm hoping those will act like, clear parts that come with like the bigger ships. And it leveled out here and really nice. And yes, if it does come out a little bit, you can just wipe it off. So any of the ones that I have to do from the outside, like especially the drive section, that'll be fine. But so yeah, I have that ready so we can actually start putting this, unsoldering these and actually get the shuttle bay in there permanently. But right now what I'm doing is I just light blocked. I put the micro mask in here, and I was just hitting it with some black to light block it. And I'm going to hit it with, I think I'm going to stick with the neutral gray, which is also what I'm doing with the shuttle bay doors. These smaller ones we can get glued in. And this one I got to figure out how to make it so I can set it in there and it stays, and then be able to, grab it and not have like it falling and stuff like that. I was always wondering if I should put it on the the big door, the plastic, like sand it a little bit and then glue this to that plastic piece. I'll have to see how it fits, because if it fits kind of in there, that would be great. If it just fits on the outside, kind of like these do, the plastics for these do just kind of sit on the outside, and they actually look too far out for my taste. So, but here we just glue on this one edge, so they should work fine. This is the one we got to make so we can take off and put on. But I think they got enough coats. I can probably hit those with a clear, and we can get these guys glued in. And I'm sticking with the same color scheme on the Impulse. I think they said to do it maybe something different. I don't remember, but I think it would keep those colors kind of consistent. And then I have this, it's the same thing as the neutral gray. So you'll kind of have that and these doors and the big door up here and your Impulse all kind of falling in that pattern. Okay, I test and dry fitted the smaller shuttle bay door and then touched up the edges with some paint again. We're doing the mid-size one now. We've got to get it bent first, so I need a longer bending area. We need you right there. Alright, yeah. So there's already a seam line where it's going to bend, where we need to bend it. And that's what you line this brake on. The only thing I always find with this thing is you get it lined up and then you twist, and this thing does that. And what you do once you got that is you just take this little razor blade, you come under it, and then you fold. And that's about that's close enough. Let's do a dry fit and see if it works. And we're going to do either a little trimming there or there to get that. Yeah. See if I can get in. Yeah, it's hitting up in this little corner here. Try to get this camera a little better. There we go. So let's pull it out and maybe just give a little, just with the, all I had to do was with the knife. Just kind of just trim a little. And I do have this. Sometimes it's just paint or glue. Looks like we're lining up because it does have a cavity it can fit in. You're not up high enough. Yeah, we're still tight. Like I said, I don't know if this is just too far down. There it goes. Now am I going to be able to get it out of there is one thing. I always kind of want to go with the wheel going out. Yeah, I like that. Now, like I said, can we get it out of there? Try to go from underneath here. There we go. Underneath and oh, here's the side that's probably going to give us the best. There we go. So, what are we going to glue this in with? I'm thinking epoxy because epoxy works so much better than super glue. And there was something else I wanted to epoxy. Oh, Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. So I'm going to mix up a little bit extra for him. I have a little AMT vinyl Han Solo and Luke, and I drilled, in order to drill the lightsaber out to put an LED in it, I actually had to cut it in half because I didn't have a bit that was that small and that long. and you know the super glue just doesn't want to even hold it. So I'm going to use this clear epoxy, and then what I'm going to do is either brush or dip it in clear resin and then cure it, so it gives it an exterior hard, smooth shell. We don't need much for these guys, and don't really need much for Luke either. All right. Ooh, you got a big glob of epoxy. I should use this chisel. Watch my leg. Holy cow. Usually it pops right off, but it's so wrapped around it. Now I'm wondering if I put it up in there. Probably be smarter. Probably be smarter to put it up in there. I think this one likes to go in and push up. There you go. I hope it's hitting. I already have to touch up that because I pushed too hard. Yeah, we're going for it. We are here and we have epoxy ready. Yeah, and see, to try to do this with super glue would be like still wipe things clean. But yeah, trying to do this with super glue would be a pain in the butt. You'd be rushing. Try to get that in there. Yeah, I like that. There we go. We got, I think this is Shuttle Bay 1 and 2. I'm not sure. They do have number tags for them. Oh, I got this here. I'll touch that little spot that I scratched. It probably wasn't 100% cured. Once this, to me, a paint cures, it's pretty resilient. There we go. These guys still look good. All right, there we go. Slowly but surely getting there. Now I should, before this sets up, go get Luke Skywalker. But I'm not going to do that on camera. Actually, I lied. I just figured I'd show you what I'm talking about. Boy, he needs a cleaning. That's okay. And I'm going to redo this head. I don't like how his neck's fitting in that joint. So I'm going to pop that off and get him to fit a little better. He's getting dirty. He used to be next to a kitchen area, so they, you know, the white picks up of some of that yellow. But that's okay because that adds to the Tatooine dirt. But yeah, see how I had to cut that in there to get that little tube LED in there? Well, you just got to figure out where you're supposed to sit. That's right there. So let's get a little epoxy in there. I think we can use that toothpick wherever I did with it. There it is. Looks like we're going to end up getting a LED full of glue, but that's all right. We didn't want this to open in the first place. No, just like with anything, I should have got something ready before I started to hold that level. So I'm going to sit here like the old Star Wars days and wait for the epoxy to set. I think I got a moment here to get a piece of tape. PSC tape, you're going to do a fold. It's going to make it. Well, hopefully that does it. Ooh, Luke, you need a dusting with your Band-Aid lightsaber. I don't know if I have battery power. Not a little bit. It's glowing a little bit. Once it's full power, even this tip will glow. But forever he was sitting there with a limp saber. His Schwartz was a little limp. So, but I figured I'd show you that. All right, it's time to get this shuttle bay in. What I did here is I used some of this magic Scotch tape. It works great for diffusers for windows, like especially photo etch, where it's really not necessary to really use a window maker. These windows you're not really going to see, but it helps diffuse and pull the light a little better. We'll see probably a little bit of this one when it's lifted up, but now it'll be diffused. You won't be able to see through. And also that tape gave me a hinge point for that to hold it together. I just took some styrene and built it up to give me another glue point here, so it's not wanting to wobble like this, because our glue points are really going to be this edge here, here, and now these. I could probably put 2 more here, but I think that'll give us enough. Still not sure how I'm going to hold that up. I guess I should get some tape ready. I guess I'm going to have to like tape it this down and then try to go in here on the other side. I don't think there's a way to get a clamp. You know what? Maybe I can. Those little tiny clamps. Maybe I can get 1 or 2 of these up in there. Oh, yeah. All right. I'm thinking we'll put the epoxy on that. This edge we'll put on here. I think here we're going to put it right on that. And that's going to be fun because the wires have got to go up through. And then this we'll put there. And we got to build some type of sidewalls. Because once this is down and that's like that, we got this opening here. So I'm going to just build some sidewalls. But let's get this glued, and I think it'll be easier to figure out how that's going to work. I probably could use regular glue, but let's just slam some epoxy because everything is painted. But now the fun part. We got to get you up through without getting everything goobered up with glue. You see epoxy's rolling over the edge here. Again, we gotta get you guys up through. Now we gotta pull this apart. We need the red and white wires. We did get glue on some stuff, or epoxy, I should say. Which means everybody's gonna want to be sticky. Now, the red is gonna be the negative, so you need to get out of my way. I think that's gonna go to this brown. Let's tin you quick. Do the same thing with the blue. It's the positive, and I did make a little red mark on the white showing that I screwed up and used the wrong wire. There we go. Now, this is going to be the fun part. Getting you to stay like that. I probably should, even if I put a little bit of tape there just to keep it from sliding. I can have this lift up, not slide, just lift up. So all we have to do, what's my positive, negative? I can't even see. All right, positive is that side, so we're in the right ballpark. Let's get these. Nope, wrong tweezers. God, how I'd feel much better if we could test that, but I don't think I can. We're going to have to hope and pray that works. Alright, let's get you out of the way because you're probably making a mess with my resin. It's probably oozing everywhere. No matter what side we're on, those little wires want to be in the way. We get one more across this front. And this yellow tape's strong. I actually have to fix where it pulled up tape there. Now hopefully we don't have a flood of... No, we don't. Awesome. And that is actually trying to stick to its up there already all by its lonesome. So what we'll do, maybe we should hit both corners. Use two. I don't know why I didn't think about this before, but that works freaking wonderful. Here we go. And we don't have any clear resin oozing out on the floor. It's freaking awesome. And that gave it stability. So we'll just let that sit. I don't know if I can get power to this and check some stuff here. I think we should be able to if I just touch even a positive and negative off of a LED here, especially here. I should fire it through. 9 volts, yes. Yeah, I see those going. I see my bridge light going. And I think we're good. That's all it needed to do is that bridge light. You know, as long as all those LEDs under there are working, and they are. Yes, they are. Sweet. Okay. We're able to get a test. So we'll be back. We'll take the paper off once it cures. But then, like here, oh yeah, here's where I was saying we need to close this up right here. There's our ceiling, so the real main part we need to close. You know, I can lay just a flat piece of styrene right across there, and that should take care of all of it. Paint it the wall gray, which I'll just go with. I'll just go with this gray here. I think that's kind of what I used in there anyway. For the most part, you have to look up in there anyway, but I think that'd be better if we close that. We won't have this light leak on the sides. Yeah, really, it's just this area here, about halfway. But we'll lay a piece of styrene all the way across. Because now I can get a strip. Before I was trying to make shapes and stuff. Now I can just get a strip and just lay it across. You know, cut it short enough that it's right with that wall. And just cut it straight across, hit it with some paint and glue it on there. Okay, I took the tape off and the clamps and it worked perfect. That's solid. That's not going anywhere. And the roof stayed up there, the ceiling. Nice, where if you're sitting here, you see there's a ceiling grid. We didn't get any overflow into this way. I see a little shine from the epoxy, but this being clear epoxy, you know how like they have a force field, and that's how the smaller shuttle bays will be. The part that has the shuttle bays, it actually has you print a clear part, and all you have to do is paint it a little bit of a blue, so it'll glow blue. Because you remember the little force fields on when they had the doors open, it didn't suck them out like the vacuum. It was like a force field type thing. You see the blue glow around the edges of where the door would be. Well, it has that for that effect for the small ones, but I don't know if the big one has one. But it's great because there's light coming from this light here, and this is a clear epoxy, so it's acting like a clear part. It's catching that light and pulling it and glowing this little area. So I might hit it with a little bit of blue to get that area to glow blue. Hopefully this works. If this works, this would be awesome. I mean, we're just looking at it as like a big clear blue clear part. Oh, it's working enough. It's definitely going to give a blue color to it. I think it needs a little more. Just like with anything with the transparent paint, you gotta keep brushing it on, and you gotta hit anywhere it is. Yeah, I'm liking that. I mean, it doesn't go all the way around the doors, but you wouldn't be able to see, all up in there. Anyway, but here you'll be able to see that floor glow a little bit of blue. And if you look at this angle, you can tell it'll be. I really am liking how the SolarEs work for Windows. I might tinker with these. That's a good spot. Let's let that dry. Oh, I do want to make these, but I think I need to let some of that dry. These here, I think are in good shape. We can try to pull a. See how easy it's going to be to get this liquid, this micro mask out of here. Yeah, I have to do a little gray touch up because some of the liquid mask got up on the outer sill. But, oh no, take that out. I think in here I'm just going to have to hit it with some white. There's not going to be a way to scuff in there. There we go. I saw some garbage when you look through. So we can put the little photo etch pieces in these. See if this one's going to be as cooperative. I mean, I've used this stuff on small things, but never on like a piece like this, where I did the whole thing in there. I don't even mind the black rim. I'm just going to touch up the gray on it where it chipped out of this little bit here. And some of that black rim's going to get taken away with the photo etch. All right, so where's the photo etch for that now? Then I can seal all that. I probably should touch those up first. I don't have to worry about hitting the photo etch. Where's the neutral gray? That's German, I bet. Nope, that's neutral. Oh, and this must be light sky gray. Yep. Just use a little one because I only really need to touch up a little spot. And mainly on the tops. Yeah, that makes the edges look nice and consistent. Yeah, I'm okay with the black on the inside. I was just going along the edge to kind of make the gray kind of roll over a little bit. And that's it. We can give those a moment to dry. Some burrs. Pretty good. What about you? we go. That way we make sure they fit in there. I have to go very light. Almost like tack it. There's one of those toothpicks. Well, all right. The shuttle bays in there are nice. I got those. I got those pieces. I found the pieces I had cut and shaped. I got those glued in. Hit them with some black. I might have to hit them with another couple coats. Yeah, to help light block them. But this morning, or when I came home from work today, I noticed some of my decal were popped. So I don't know if things shrunk or if some of the solar res I was putting back here leaked through and caused a little havoc back here. I got a little bit of blue leaking through, and like I said, I had some of the decal popped up. No biggie with the decal thing. I just took a sharp blade and just cut a little slit and then used some of my setting solution and it popped it back down. This side was being a little more stubborn. But then it had some like stains, from something else I think was seeping through, and I'm wondering if it was the solar resin it didn't fully cure. Because while I was putting it together to do a test fit and test lighting, the epoxy was cured and it didn't cause any problems. So I'm wondering if it was that. So I went through and actually took some of this flexible solar res after I fixed the decal kind of problem and filled in that gap with the flexible solar resin. If you don't cure it right away, it actually starts to level itself, and then try to clean up and hide some of the weirdness that you were able to see now. I'm thinking the epoxy, it kind of glued onto the decal and it didn't, get a good adhesion. So I went back here and hit some more epoxy on this side as well to make sure this is glued to this really good. Because I'm wondering if it, being that it epoxy to this lip of the shuttle bay had the decal on it. On the other one, I'll actually cut the decal off there so that I get a good resin to plastic contact, and it won't cause the decal to pop if it shrinks or moves or anything like that. But anyway, I ran that flexible solar res in there, filled in that gap, then cleaned it up before, the best I could before I sealed it or cured it with the flashlight. And I think that gave me a good option. There's a little bit of blue stain here where it kind of came almost to that yellow line in the floor, which you're not seeing. I don't know if I can zoom you all in. So I get sideways. Might be able to see a little better. But right there's a little bit of a blue stain there. So that's the only real thing you can kind of see from this angle. From the back, you won't see it at all. But you'll see a little bit. But if I have this light on, this whole area is glowing blue really nicely now. Especially, I think, even adding more of this back here catches more of the light. And then putting the solar res here, it pulls it right through. So it's giving that kind of force field look that they had on all their shuttle bays. But all in all, I'm happy. You really can't. And there's a little bit of shiny from the solar res, but once I hit this with a flat coat, get the decals down, and I do my final flat coat, I think we'll be fine. So, the impulse engines look good. I like the photo etch. It's all blackened out, so those came out good. They're going to look good on the ship. So now, and I don't know if I showed, I got the bay doors on, the smaller bay doors on. You can zoom back out here. Wrong way. I got the bay doors on. That's in really nice. So this is coming along. I'm still working on what I want to do here. To add a little color. I don't want a lot. I want them to look off when they're off. But I want to add a little color because there is a little bit of color to the filming miniature. I liked what Lou did over in Aztec Dummy, where he replicated that. His came out really nice, I think. But I think he was able to still get his apart, or didn't put them together. I don't know if he painted them on the outside, from the outside, or the inside. I'm not sure. I think the black smoke he did around the rim, he did on the outside. But anyway, in order to really have this bay door here, which is really a pain to I think it needs to be shaped a little better too. My other one, I'm actually going to, before I even start painting, I'm going to make sure these doors fit correctly. And this also, like I said, it has a bow down. This is bowing down. Because you set something straight across and you get a little gap. And I'm hoping once everything compresses together, that'll hide some, get rid of some of that. But I want this to be removed. I could always just leave it open, but I would like to sometime maybe actually put a door down. But that'll never stay on its own, see? So I'm hoping what I can do to give it a little more thickness is use the original model kit door. Neither of them fit in there very good. I think we'll use that to give it some space. And then I'm going to shape, once I glue the two together, I'm going to shape them so they fit in there. Like right there, that's fitting pretty good up top. We got a little bit of gap there. Like I said, you're going to have that gap in the center until I think this pushes up. But I think it'll be easier to have at least a thicker piece than this real thin photo etch. So we can actually just glue that to that. And then once we do that, try to get it centered. The photo etch is a hair bigger. Not by much, but a hair. And then we'll start shaping, you know, this edge. It's really going to be these edges here until it fits nice in here. So make sure you sand in here, and you know, if you can, make sure these fit for you while they're all just raw plastic. So let's get this glued in. I think I already have a bead of that down. I went through and sanded the ribs that they put on here to give you that door, you know, garagey kind of door look, just to make this a little thinner, since we're adding a photo etch piece to it. Really got to make sure we hit the edges. I also used it to help me get this piece, to help me get the curve to that. So even if you are just going to use the photo etch and glue it in there, if I was just going to have a door that's going to be shut, I would just use the photo etch. But being that there's a light in there, and when I have the door closed, I don't want it all too much, as little as possible of the light sneaking out. Like I said, we want to make sure we hit the edges. Alright, that should work. There we go. And we'll have to repaint it, sure. There we go. I look pretty level, yeah, pretty. And just so everybody knows, that was a separate model that was made in giant scale of just in the cell itself. There we go. We'll let that sit. I just wanted to show you where we're at. I'm going to probably start hitting these windows, I think. Yeah. Just until we get these windows, then we can get these closed up.